Stezo Radio is for adults only.
The Stezo Radio Show. The Stezo Radio Show. The Stezo Radio Show. The Stezo Radio Show. Well, it's that radio show where we go toe to toe. Hot topic, dropping knowledge straight from Chicago. And it's our point of view. So tell me what you gon' do. Drop a line, don't be lying, trying to get with the crew. Cause we be talking them facts, exposing them fiction. Man, it's so real that we be causing some friction. Probably something you missing, ain't no need to be dissing. Just relax here and listen because we spitting and simping. The Stezo Radio Show, the Stezo Radio Show, the Stezo Radio Show, Stezo Radio Show, the Stezo Radio Show, the Stezo Radio Show, the Stezo Radio Show, the Stezo Radio Show.
Stezo's Thought of the Day.
Welcome back. Another episode of Stezo Radio. We're going to continue the one-on-ones. And today, the one-on-one will be...
What's going on? It's Residential Youngin Kurt. Follow me on Instagram, Twitter, @_Kurt SI, Snapchat SI_Kurt.
All right, now, like all the rest, I am not alone. I got two people in the building. One is...
That nigga back at the round table.
And that's a nigga with an A, not an E-R. And a special guest, we just call him Pops. Y'all gonna get to love him. Introduce yourself to the people, Pops.
We got the West Side. We got the Big M over here. What's going on, fellas? How's everything going tonight?
That's good.
Chilling.
You got it, baby.
All right, so we finna kick this off.
It's old school.
Youngin, you ready?
Let's go.
right.
Ready as ever.
My first question for you is, do you think you're hard on black women?
I think I'm hard on people, period.
Explain.
To be honest. Cause I don't really have that much faith in people. You know what I'm saying? And then it's just like the shit I see in my generation. I can just speak on my generation. I guess you would kind of say that I'm hard on the black women on my generation because the good ones are so few, far in between. You know what I'm saying? So it's like well, what else is there but hoes and bitches and thoughts?
You 24, right?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
I'm 24.
Okay.
Is that bad out there?
It's that bad. Like literally, I just seen a video on Facebook today of this girl getting cracked from the back while her baby in the room crying.
Oh, no.
Wait, she doing what?
She's getting fucked from behind.
Oh, wow.
While her baby is in the room crying, looking at her.
Oh, that's sad.
You know, and that's the generation that we live in, and I'm seeing this type of shit more and more every day.
Man, that's kind of sad.
So I mean, I don't mean to be, harsh, but when this is what you're seeing from your generation.
So do you think that's the majority of your age group? So you think that's over 50%?
Yeah, I honestly think that's over 50% because it's like the people in my age group, their morals, their values, it's like, what the fuck are those? And I just don't see it.
You see it changing? You think it may change?
I think it may change, but it's gonna take a while. It's about time the people in my generation, about time they hit their late 30s, that's when they gonna start getting it together, and that's honestly how I feel.
So let me ask you this: your generation, give me an age, range. You would say from what? Because you're 24, right?
Right.
So would you say 21 to 26? Would you say 22 to 27? Or?
Yeah. I say 21 to 26.
21 to 26.
Anybody born between because we kind of had this. I don't know if we had this discussion on wax or if it was some behind the scenes shit, but I know I was talking to Stezo about it. Every generation is 10 years, but within those 10 years, there's like a sub generation. Every 5. So it's kind of like the way I feel about it when you put it into context, like with all the skinny jean wearers and all that in my generation. That's pretty much anybody born 95 and after.
Oh, yeah.
The ones born from the 90s to 94, we had shit like, Dragon Ball Z, Pokemon. We used to go outside, kick it. do little shit here and there. We were right there in between the gap of not having social media
and having social.
So we're more centered.
Cause I was wondering, do you think social media plays a large part in it?
I think it do.
And if it does, what is it? Is because everybody wants to be
Famous.
quote unquote. Yeah, I was gonna say that famous.
Yeah, I mean,
so they just do anything just to get recognition.
That's the easiest way.
Whether it's positive or negative.
Yeah. Whether it's positive or negative. I mean, how many twerking videos can you find in one day?
This is true.
This
is true. You can find them.
Yeah.
All right, now going off that, give me your ideal relationship.
My ideal relationship would be the one I'm in now. I mean, we both. It's not really. Most people view relationship as 50-50, but the way me and my old lady view it is like 100-100. You know what I'm saying? What's mine is hers, what's hers is mine. And we've done that before. We've had joint bank accounts before. We've lived together already. You know what I'm saying? We both have 2 separate children. She had a child before I was dating her, and of course I had one, but those are our kids.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, we just mesh. You know what I'm saying? She truly like my better half, and I just think that's kind of what my ideal relationship would be.
This is not your first long-term relationship.
No, it's not.
Okay, cool.
It's not.
Cool. So you know what?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's not like it's all fresh to you.
Yeah.
You got an idea. Okay, that's cool. How long you been with her?
3 years.
Okay.
Yeah, 3 years.
So you say 20? Yeah, since 21.
Yeah, since I was
Okay.
21, yeah.
Okay. So basically, in a sense, you saying you think we always throw this word out. You think you got a unicorn.
Yeah.
Out of especially out of this generation.
Yeah.
Wait, she's around your age, but I'm saying so you think you got a unicorn, especially out this generation.
Yeah. She a year older than me, and I've even said it on here before. I got a unicorn. We did one episode. It was me, Stezo, Short, and Rick, and I brought up how when we were living together, she would make Sunday dinners and the room lit up.
Right, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And,
you don't hear that no more.
You don't. You know what I'm saying? And that's what she do. She really caters to her man. And then she's the type where she's an independent woman too. So it's like I'm getting that independent woman, but at the same time she's still a woman. She allowed me to be the man and the head of the family, the head of the household, things of that nature, regardless of whatever the situation is.
All right, Pops. You heard he 24, engaged, got a good woman. What's some advice you can give him to keep the home happy?
Well, as I'm going to chime in on this, because you guys are younger than me.
True enough.
But I know back in the day, if I dated you, I saw myself marrying you.
100.
And if I saw myself building a relationship with you, we made it work. And then I saw myself growing with you. So I just didn't date you to pass the time. I dated you because I saw potential in you. So that led me to end up having, hey, there ain't nobody listening, 6 children in one setting, and they all grown. Right. So now the new generation that's out here now, babies having babies.
True enough.
Baby mamas becoming grandmamas before they babies become adults.
True enough.
So it's more of a thing out here now that they just doing their own thing. There's no structure in the house anymore.
Right.
So what I really is trying to say is, see, if there's no real parents in the house when your kids are growing up, then they're gonna repeat what they saw you doing when they came up.
Right.
And it's an old cliche they always say, if my mama was on welfare, I'm gonna be on welfare too.
Damn.
Okay? So now the state is trying to cut all that out.
True enough.
Ain't no more of that getting that extra money. You can have a baby here by one daddy, or a baby here by another daddy, but now child support kicking in. Okay, so now you got 2 or 3 daddies paying your way to take care of you and your kids.
Right.
Which is not right. But
it's definitely
if that's what floats your boat. I guess it floats your boat.
Yeah, it's actually interesting that he said that because, like, you know how he said, you know, when back in his day he dated somebody he always saw a potential mate. You know, and I had my daughter at a young age. You know, she just turned 7 last year, so I had her when I was around 16, 17. So, you know, ever since then, I think having my daughter was a turning point for me because it forced me to grow up quick. You know, I made a lot of life changes early on because of my daughter. You know, and then everybody after that, you know, knowing that me and her mom wasn't going to be together, I always looked for somebody that I can find a mate in because I always wanted to set that example for my daughter.
That's because you was raised up in a real structured family.
Right.
So you didn't want to repeat the same cycle.
Exactly.
Hey, let me ask you this, cause I remember when I did it. But we'll talk about that another day. But I like to ask brothers this one though. When did you had your daughter at what age?
17.
Okay, 17. When did you really realize, like, damn, I'm a parent? Like, when did it really hit? Because it don't hit you when you there. It didn't, for me, it didn't really hit me when I first had my child.
But it hit me, honestly, when she was born. Cause
really?
I was at the hospital. You know what I'm saying? I was there for the whole, you know, labor. I was there for it.
Oh, so it hit you right there. See, it didn't hit me like that.
Right
it didn't even hit me. It took me. I mean, I knew I was a father, but it didn't really hit me like, damn, until I had to take care of something. I was like, whoa.
I mean, it hit me right then and there, but I honestly feel now I'm just now getting good at being a father. You know, not saying that I was
right.
but now my decisions are a lot better.
That's also coming with
know,
your age. You getting older.
Yeah.
Well, I want to chime in. I remember back in the day that my dad, for my first born son, my dad told me, he said, well, I tell you what, son. He said, you got a son here. He said, so you can't live here, you and your woman. So you need to grow up and be a man. He said, so either be a man, move out, provide for your family, or either you just be stuck in a rut. So I moved on, got me an apartment, moved my family and deal with it. And to this day, I'm proud of myself and proud of my children.
Mm-hmm.
So,
All right, young, I got another one for you.
All right.
Do you enjoy talking shit?
Thoroughly.
Yeah.
See, a lot of people. A lot of
what do
people
you call shit?
a lot of people get offended by some of the shit I say. I just realized this.
I think I'm with the fans. I get offended too. I get offended too. I go home and cry sometimes. Like, he ain't say that.
Well, then I think I'm pretty good at what I do then. You know, but I mean, I just realized that you know, not. It ain't like this, you know, some eye-opening shit, but I had a friend, a man, come to me, and, you know, like, yo, you need to calm down, man. That shit kind of.
He said you couldn't bullshit the bullshitter.
I guess.
That's what he said.
Yeah. So I mean, you know, I try to calm down on like a personal level when cracking, you know, on people, but it's just so much fun, man.
Wait,
I'm a troll.
Wait, I was joking, man. Do we really talk that much shit, or we talking? I kind of know I'm, you know. That's just one. You think the fans want to know that one?
Yeah,
oh, okay.
He enjoys it.
Oh, okay.
I love it. I love it, man. See, y'all probably used to it though, man.
Oh, maybe I'm immune to the shit.
Yeah, you immune to the shit.
we are.
But you know the average person, they not ready for this, man.
Do you talk shit with a smile or a grin?
Man,
Which one you do first?
You see all 32 teeth.
Okay, you still got your teeth there, right?
Yeah, I
so
still-
bullshit ain't about nothing.
Right. Oh,
It's nothing but
so.
a piece of chewed up grass. All right, man. Okay.
All right, my next one for you, since we brought up the listeners.
Okay.
How do you think the listeners see you?
Older than what I actually am.
Yeah, I get that a lot.
Yeah. You know, and I've heard, you know, I've actually seen some of the listeners, you know, responses, and it's just amazing that, you know, somebody of my age is kind of this mature. You know, especially in this generation, you know, especially, you know, when you think about me and Short, we say a lot of mature shit, but, you know, I know me and him personally, we've been through a lot. You know, so it's like, you know. I
So
think
where did your maturity come from then?
it came from being a father. It came from being a father, watching my parents struggle. You know, it's just like a lot of the things that I grew up being taught. It molded me to think a certain way, act a certain way.
Okay.
You know, I'm a lot more open-minded than most people. You know, whenever I'm faced with a problem, I never look at it from my point of view. I always try to see things from the other person's perspective.
You think you beat the cycle out here where they're saying where kids, the teenagers now today can't get past from age 17 to 21 to see their full potential in life?
Yeah.
Where you actually saying, you know what, I made a difference in my teen years in going into my manhood years to show that I can be a full-fledged man.
Yeah, I honestly do see that in myself. You know, and like I said, in a lot of the decisions that I made, you know, up to my point for the past 7 years that my daughter has been born, my life has been nothing but sacrifices. You know, and I think that's a testament of a man. You know, you put whatever you have to on the line to make sure that your family is all right. You know, so
There you go.
yeah.
Yeah, you ain't your average youngin. I
Yeah.
can tell you that.
I give you that, too.
As we all know, you know, this is Chicago and all these young teenagers out here now are getting killed. I ain't gonna say unnecessarily, but they out here doing the wrong that they ain't got no business doing. And I'm not down in the police out here, but the police has a job to do what they have to do. And if you're a threat to the police, then they have no choice but to do the training and ability to prevent them from getting hurt.
Right.
So I'm just saying today, these young kids out here in the street now, they're not scared of the police no more. They carrying a gun every time you look around. Or either they jumping out, cussing out the police, or trying to be tougher than the police, but at the same time, the police are trained to kill. When they go to the academy, this is what they're trained to do. Shoot to kill. They have no choice but to aim to hurt. You know, I used to always ask people, well, why they can't just shoot them in the leg? No, this is what I'm trained to do.
Yeah.
Right.
Which is a sad case for our youth
Yeah.
out here because
True.
now, look at all the kids. We got 400 and something murders in Chicago right now.
Right.
All right? And the police can't be wrong all the time.
Right.
You know, my heart goes out to the kids out here and their families and whatnot, but the police can't be wrong all the time. But I know they're going to defend themselves. Just they want to go home to their family just like you like to come home to your family.
Exactly. And I'm actually glad you brought up that point about, you know, my generation not being afraid of the police. I don't think my generation are afraid of consequences. Yeah. You know, a lot of them do shit without acting. Without thinking.
That was the word, thinking.
Yeah, without thinking.
Couldn't think of it.
Yeah.
Well,
So
They could think I'm thinking.
it looks good at the moment. Right. Like you said. Oh yeah, I like that. I like that Cadillac over there. It looks good. I want it. But you ain't thought about the consequences that comes behind it.
Right.
Somebody might have been sitting in that window waiting on you to come get that Cadillac.
True.
Okay? But at the same time, it's not the consequence. But I've always learned that the structure of the house is the main foundation of everything.
That's where
you
everything
know
starts.
you could not be a child of mine and come in the house with gold chains around your neck, a brand new pair of Jordans and new jeans and stuff, and here I'm sitting here in a raggedy pair of boots and an old t-shirt and whatnot, and I'm working every day 40 hours a week, and you know, and you coming in here shitty sharp. And I'm sitting there saying, well, what's going on? Well, Dad, you know how that goes. My friends took care. What you mean your friends? Your friends ain't putting a roof over your head. Your friends ain't paying these bills in here, but you coming in here every night laying in this bed. So that lets you know that if there's no structure in the house for a mother and a father as a parent,
Right.
then you done lost. You done lost that child a long time ago. So if you don't catch them, as you said, your daughter is what? 7 now?
Yeah.
If you don't catch them from 7 on up to where they becoming in high school age or whatnot, because 8th grade, we got bad grammar school kids now too.
Yeah.
Okay, but if you don't catch them from that age coming up, and you don't set down the ground rules, then you just lost them.
Yeah, you right about that one. All right, youngin, I got another one for you. Cause I want to keep, keep it juicy.
Keep him on his toes.
Come on. I'm hot right now, man.
And because of your age, I'm bringing this one up.
Go ahead, man.
Give me your best high school memory.
My best high school.
Right, your best.
Nah.
Not 2, 3, the best.
This one is actually a fun one. Every time I think of high school, I think about this memory. To those that don't know, I rap. My stage name is Kurt Dempsey. That's my middle name, my father's middle name put together. So back when I was in high school, I went by a different stage name, but that's old. But
No, what was the high school stage?
at the time, at the time, it was Young Chandelier.
I thought you were gonna say young blood.
Yeah. The youngin was shining.
I'm about to say, okay, tell me your version.
That was a perfect.
They had chandeliers back in your day.
Man,
well, that's
hey,
a new generation. But back in my day, we didn't have chandeliers. We had that old porch light that stood outside on the
Hey,
Yeah, I don't think porch like
They ain't gonna sell records.
they ain't gonna sell records, man.
So what happened, Young Chandelier? I see.
That was one of them like school events prepping the juniors for like the SATs and shit like that. And there was this one dude that he claimed he was with BET.
Okay.
Now,
BET was back in well, yeah, you still a young guy, so I guess so. I was back in the WON days. Okay.
So
we didn't have
so at the time this one part during the look whatever we was having a look I forget what they call them in the auditoriums and
Like fashion. I mean, little show or whatnot.
yeah, the little
Talent
show,
show?
whatever.
talent.
It wasn't even a talent show, but at one point during the guys'
Fundraisers.
presentation or whatever, he asked, are there anybody in the crowd that rap? So everybody was like, yo, and they had 4 people go up there. I was one of the 4. Me, one of my guys at the time, and then 2 other people. And he cut on an instrumental. It was "A Baby" by
Hurricane
Chris. Right?
Yeah, I remember that shit.
Hey, man,
Right.
And it was funny because at the time I wrote to it and I recorded to it, so I had something for it already. The shit was hot,
Right.
but the dude said we couldn't curse. Now at the time, I didn't have an edited version, so I'm like, okay, well then I'm gonna just have to go on here freestyle. I was one of the last people up, so when the shit happened, 2 people before me went. I'm like, they weak. I got this shit. He like, okay, go ahead, go spit your shit. As soon as I get the mic, the beat come on, the first word I say, I don't give a fuck. The whole crowd get the boy. Funniest fucking moment ever in high school, man. Yes.
Everything went out the window.
Everything went out the window. Yeah.
All right, let me get 3 rules you try to live by.
3 rules I try to live by. I wouldn't say these as rules. It's kind of like mottos. The first one is always be conscious of my decisions because they affect other people.
Okay.
Wow. I don't know. This is a tough one. 3.
Come back to it. Come back to that one. Come back to that.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna continue.
Yeah.
Give me 3 rules you want your girls, your daughters, to live by.
daughters live by. Never rely on a man for anything. For number 1. Number 2, always be respectable to anybody. Treat the janitor how you would treat the CEO. And number 3, never give up on your dreams. Regardless of what they are.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna ask everybody this question.
Okay.
Why do you use the bitch word?
Habit.
You know he talk shit.
Habitual, if you will.
I'm a habitual person who use bitch.
Yes, I habitually use bitch.
Bitch, right.
How do you feel about the bitch word?
I mean, it's just a word at the end of the day to me. I just one of them words like Flint said in the episode that dropped with him. you know, it's one of them words that can have a different meaning. You know, you stub your toe, bitch. You know, or you know, somebody do something wrong. That was some bitch ass shit you just did. You know, it's just one of them words, and I don't think it's one of them words that people should take so offensively.
It depends how you use the word and when you're using that word at that moment. Right, because you know what? As they say, don't get me wrong, a bitch is a dog in heat. And if you got a woman, your dog ain't in heat. She ain't, excuse me, not the dog, but she's not in heat every time you talk to her and say, you bitch. You know, but I've learned to always say, if I'm going to say the word bitch, I'll mumble it under my breath because I've got sisters, I got a mama,
Right.
and I don't call them a bitch, so I shouldn't have to call my woman a bitch.
True enough.
Unless she get out of pocket. But, you know, but I mumble that word to myself.
Right.
Because that's out of disrespect to call her that, you know. But now, I done used the word bitch in the street. I see a bitch walking down the street. Look at that bitch going down the street. But it's just a word that you just throwing around.
Right.
But who knows? I might get down the street and want to talk to her. But you think I'm going to say, hey, bitch? No, I'm going to say, hey, baby, how are you? But at the same time, I called you a bitch before I walked up there and talked to you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's the way how you use the word.
It's how you use it.
And it's when the proper time to use the word. You know. But it's some people out here, everything come out their mouth. That bitch, that motherfucking bitch, I can't stand it. Bitch. But you got to use that word in the right perspective at the right time.
You know what just popped in my head? Remember the movie South Central? When they was riding down the street, he's like, damn, look at that bitch. And then he said, come on in, baby. Like he just said, damn, look at that bitch. Hey, baby, what you doing?
What you doing? You know. So it's a proper time to use the word, you know, but some guys out here don't care when they use it. How. But as you know now, women today will talk to their girlfriend and say, bitch. Yeah, bitch, you know I do that. And I'll be like, look how she call a bitch. But you let you go and call your woman a bitch. Oh, it's a whole fight. Yeah. We finna fight. What the fuck you calling me a bitch for? All right? Well, she just called you a bitch. That was her. But what's the difference? Well, it's a difference than you calling her a bitch and she calling you a bitch. But you know how that goes.
True enough.
All right, one more for you, youngin.
Last one.
No, not the last.
Oh, okay.
Oh, you know what? Next to last.
Next to last. Oh, okay.
What is the good, the bad, and the ugly things that you've ever done?
I've stolen something before.
Is that the good or the bad?
I guess that's the bad. Yeah. That's about as bad as...
We would ask, but that's incrimination. I don't want to do that.
Might not be past statute of limitations.
Like, that was last week.
Yeah, it might be, you know what I'm saying? No, I don't want to get caught up in no Bill Cosby.
Yeah.
It was just
Free the cars.
The good I've done, I mean, I've, you know, done some volunteer work and shit before. You know, donated, you know, like clothes, blood. You know, I've always, actually, Short, me and him always talk business with each other. And at one point we was talking about starting an NPO, a nonprofit organization, but it would be like, you know, for housing. And what we'll do, we wanted to like open up like an apartment complex, but kind of for like the homeless, so they can have somewhere to stay.
Ain't a bad idea.
Yeah. So I mean, I think it'll be servicing a serious need, and you know, it'll be a nice non-profit organization. I'm always thinking of some type of philanthropic.
All right, before I get to the last, you ready for your 3 rules you live by?
I mean, pretty much. I would have to say the same rules for my daughters.
Okay.
You know, always pursue your dreams. Treat everybody with respect, and you know, just go out here and grind.
I got one for you.
Okay.
You 24.
Right.
What does 18-year-old youngin Kurt tell 20? Well, yeah. What does 18-year-old youngin Kurt tell 24-year-old Kurt? That I wish I would have did this earlier.
I wish I would have.
You mean what would you have done different?
Yeah, or is that something that you would be like, well, let me
still
put it
18
that.
right
What
now,
does
that's what I would do if I was
24-year-old youngin Kurt tell 18 or
Well,
17-year-old youngin Kurt?
Well,
man,
for 17-year-old Kurt, don't quit the football team. That I think about that all the time whenever I get asked that question. If I could take something back, it'd either not mess around with my baby mama or don't quit the football team. Either or, I love my daughter, but the struggle, having to
With her mom.
with her mom, sometimes I wonder, not like is it worth it, but life would have been
could have
a lot
been easier.
easier.
It could have been easier.
Well, both of you gonna be a parent. Either way it go to the child. So the best thing to do is try to get along. It don't mean that you have to agree on everything that you do, but at the same time you need to get along. And once you try that and you show the child, you one of your children, or how many children you got? Some got 16 out here. But if you try to show your children that there's a structure in the family, that goes on down into the family structure.
Right.
To show how they want to treat their children once they grow up, and how they want their children to treat other people, because this is your legacy that they want. You want them to know this is the structure that I built for you, and I don't want you to come out here, be nasty to your parents or your mom or dad. A child needs a mother and a dad every day. Okay, the dad and mama might not agree on everything, but somebody has to wear the pants in the family, even though the mama sometimes wear the pants. You know what I mean? But you both need to be able to sit down where the child can say, I can agree with both of the parents on what they're doing. It's not just a one-sided thing out here.
Right.
And you'll find out to this day, there's a lot of children out here that their parents are divorced, but they love both of y'all. They love both of you, and they don't want to take sides.
Right.
It's no one-sided thing with them. They wanted to make sure that I can go over here and tell my dad something, I can tell my mom something, at the same time we both can all sit down and have a real family conversation.
But the messed up thing about that is you have a lot of kids that want to do that, but one parent will badmouth the other parent so much.
Yeah, you got too much of that.
You don't want the parent, the kid to say, well, you could badmouth someone so bad for when you go to that person, anything come out their mouth, you're instantly saying they on some bullshit.
But that nine times out of 10, that comes about when the dad or the mother has moved on to another relationship.
All the time.
Where the you two can't agree on nothing, and one of you are hating on somebody.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Somebody in that relationship, either he hating on the girlfriend or the girlfriend hating on the boyfriend, and you don't, what they always say, I don't want my child to be raised by nobody else. Well, then you should have been there. You should have set this ground rule before you and your other mate separated. Y'all should have set this ground rule where the children can come and visit both of y'all. Hey, how many children would love to have two houses they can come visit at the same time? Okay, or
Two birthday gifts.
Two birthday gifts, or
Two Christmas gifts.
Christmas at two different houses, Thanksgiving and New Year's, and all them are good things. You know what I mean? But if you don't have that, then the kids are sitting there saying, well, I don't know who to pick and choose. But at the same time, the child is an innocent child, but they love you both.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah. All right, youngin. Last question. What are you trying to do with Stezo Radio?
Take it to the top, baby.
Look at that smile.
Take it to the top, you ain't scared, baby. You know what I'm saying? You gotta believe in me, baby.
But yeah, I just want to tell the story behind Stezo Radio.
Go ahead.
My man Stezo, he always wanted to have a radio station.
Yep,
that's the
and
name,
it's going to
Stezo
happen.
Radio, and he scratching his head, doing all this work, we gotta have all these computers set up, and
You remember that?
and shit. Yeah, I remember that.
He had about 3 of them in the shop at one time.
I told the man, I'm like, man, why don't you just start a podcast? It's cheaper, something you can do right now. you know, and he was like, you know, we run with it.
No. Let's be honest. First, I was like, the fuck is a podcast?
Right, yeah. At first he was like, you know, what the fuck is that? And then I was, you know, I put him on to a couple podcasts, and you know, it's that simple. You know what I'm saying? But I see big things for Stezo Radio. You know, it's 2016. We did crazy numbers within 2 months last year.
Yeah.
You know, I just can't wait for it. You know, I've always wanted to be on like the radio or shit like that. You know, because like I said, I was a rapper. So you know, well, I am a rapper, but this shit here is kind of like a dream come true for me, man. Just you know, coming to the round table every so often and just talking this shit. You know, it's really, you know, my dream come true as well. You know what I'm saying? So yeah.
All right, before I let you close it out, I want to thank D-Son for letting us use that music in the background. As always, you can check him out on Stezo Radio SoundCloud page. And Youngin, the floor is yours.
Close it out. I'm big on that whole never giving up on your dreams, man. Like I said about the whole football thing, I would probably tell myself not to quit football because I ain't no telling where I'd be at. I might be in the league, I might not. I mean, I was pretty decent or whatever. But my thing is, life takes crazy turns. You know, shit happens. You know, I mean that's life. Shit happens, but no matter how hard it get, if you got a dream, keep working towards it. You know, trying to get into the music industry. I've went to school for entrepreneurship, for fucking photography, for audio production, and all that shit fucking failed.
Damn.
All of it.
You ain't stopping though, are you?
Never
right.
stopping. You know what I'm saying? I'm just waiting till the right time. You know what I'm saying? But for now, I feel like I'm still doing what I want to do, you know, with Stezo Radio. You know, this still feel like being in a booth all the time, you know what I'm saying? So never give up on your dreams, man. I mean, hell, Pac was a fucking backup dancer, you know?
Doing the hump.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So, I mean, hey.
You got something to close, Pop?
Well, I just want to say thank y'all for inviting me to your open mic tonight. You know, Mr. Stezo, I'm very grateful that I came and sat in on this, and I'd like to sit on as a special guest another time you want to have me.
That's going to happen.
You know, and I appreciate the round table. Give everybody applause. We'd like to give everybody applause on this. You know, and this is something that needs to be discussed whenever it needs to be discussed. And I appreciate you young men and gentlemen for having me here as a special guest. What's up?
I think on that note, we out.